All right, guys, listen. So here's the deal. Obviously, they told us we can't like live tweet or anything like that in the courtroom, so we had to take notes the old-fashioned way. Right. So for both kids when they testified. So both kids did testify. The boy went first, and I'm just going to read my notes here, okay? Okay. So first thing, for Lally's, what you doing his usual nonsense, wasting time asking stupid questions like, what's your favorite sport? What's your favorite subject? Wasting time like that. He asked the boy if Karen was took care of them. He said yes, that the relationship was sometimes tough and sometimes good between Karen and John, that there were disagreements and yelling that happened, quote unquote, frequently, more towards the end. He says that she was, quote, nice most of the time to them. Lally asks if there were not so nice times between John and Karen, to which the defense objected and led to a sidebar because that's a stupid question. And he said that that there was a few times that he got in trouble and yelled at by Karen, but he said that when she got mad at him for taking a long time to eat food. So this is the stupid conversation that's going on in there right now, and that she would ignore them and kind of like go away and just like when she was mad at them. He doesn't recall if the fights led to her leaving the house. He said that the Aruba arguments were nothing crazy, that when he came back to Meadows Ave, everyone looked down and sad, and that Paul informed him what happened because he did not sleep in the house that night. He says that Karen looked sad and was crying at the kitchen table, and there were a couple others. He said that there was a computer upstairs because they always talk about this computer and insinuate she deleted ring camera footage, that there was a computer upstairs in the office, and that he doesn't remember if the defendant had an account. They called her the defendant, which is pretty gross. Both kids were coached to call her the defendant. And but he doesn't remember if she had an account. So if she doesn't have an account, then she couldn't have deleted the ring camera footage as these idiots like to suggest she did. They said that Lally asks if the phone was connected to the vehicle. He started asking stupid questions about the center console. The highlight was this. David Dinetti on cross-examination asked her one question. Did John or Karen ever raise a hand in anger towards each other? He said no. And then he said, quote, I'm sorry that you were made to come here today. And the prosecution immediately objected to that, but it was pretty powerful. A lot of people were like, wow. He said, I'm sorry that you were made to come here today. Now, the girl went next after that. She testified for longer. The usual nonsense about what's your favorite subject, how long you've been living with your grandparents. She said they met in 2020 for the first time. She definitely was a worse witness for Karen than the brother. She says that her relationship was with Karen Reed was, quote, dependent on the day, and that she was closer with the brother than she was with her. She says that it was good at the beginning, but it was, quote unquote, toxicity towards the end. He says that she also refers to Karen as the defendant. She said that John will walk away from fights, but that Karen will, quote, follow him and keep yelling like normal people, like welcome to relationships, I guess. She says that Karen would defend the brother during arguments and not her. She said that she was closer with John and the brother was closer with Karen. It was weird. And that during the Aruba trip that they argued in front of her about the smooching with Marietta situation. And they says that, that he asked Karen to leave the house one night and Karen said no. And that John said the relationship will run its course and then locked himself in his room for 34 minutes and Karen didn't leave. So, welcome to relationships. He says that Karen was wanted to know if she knew when ring cameras were installed. And he said that John had access to it and offered the kids access to it and Karen access to it. And they all said no. So both kids testified that Karen does not have access to that ring camera video. He says that Karen woke her up at 4:30 and told her to call 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 that morning. And that 𝗵𝗵𝗃𝗃 had texted her in the past because she was her coach. that Karen was saying, and this is interesting. She said that Karen was saying, what could have happened? And maybe I did something. Maybe a snowplow hit him. Maybe I hit him. Did I hit him? We're going to get to that in 1 second. Lally asks if the vehicle has a backup camera, like, duh. And she said the defendant, this is the kid says this, the defendant was a lot more like, just like, very like, she seemed like she was on meds and wasn't sitting still and almost shaky that morning, like somebody had just died or something. When Jen was talking, she said that Jen was calm, so and didn't get worked up, and told her that John probably went to someone else's house. That's what she told this girl. She knew exactly where John was, dying on that lawn, and she told her that John probably was sleeping at someone else's house. This is at 5:30 in the morning when they went back there. That later on, when Karen came back, she was only at the house for a short period of time and went upstairs by herself. They frequently bring this up, and it's like, that's when she deleted the Ring camera footage. But both kids testified she didn't have access to that. She said that she gave the kid a hug and said, I feel like I'm living in a nightmare, and left. She said that Yannetti asked her if she said, maybe I hit him. And she says she was interviewed on 2/22/22 and never mentioned, maybe I hit him. So that she was interviewed at the DA's office and never mentioned anything about maybe I hit him. It was like this is a new thing that she has recently added to this, and that she had quite a bit of contact with Jen McCabe in the last couple of weeks, and that never once did either of them raise a hand in anger, and that's that. So that's what happened today. We are going to get back in there for the rest of the testimony, but obviously we weren't allowed to live tweet anything. So just wanted to report that. I'm going to post this in a series of tweets, and that's that. All right. Peace, guys.